Good morning. This is 4 Fairly Funny Fables, Life's Dream, number 58, with the inimitable Corky Siegel.
Inimitable!
I just want to tell you that this morning, very, very early, while it was still dark and I was asleep, I awoke to laughter, somebody hysterically laughing from the living room. So I just want to tell you that...
I have to go blow my nose.
So I just want to tell you that this is going to be really funny. So please stick around. This will be a good one. I figured we all needed a good laugh after this week or after this year or after this 4 years.
At least we think it's funny.
All right, Corky, take it away.
Okay, so this is a tune. I'm doing some recycling here because, as you know, we don't want to do any cover tunes because this is actually a video. It ends up being a video. We need sync licenses for everything, and we want to make sure all our songwriting friends get paid for their work.
That's right.
So we're not going to pay them for their work because I'm going to do my own material.
Oh my goodness, here we go. This is one of my absolute favorites.
Yeah, but I think the last time I did this was either July 3rd or June something.
Okay.
So I think we're safe. And to tell you the truth, when it comes to doing, somebody said one time,
say hello to Argentina.
Hello, Argentina. Someone said to me, don't you get tired of playing some of the same songs over and over? Like when people ask you to do Half Asleep at the Wheel or Southwest Coast Blues or whatever. I could do one song over and over and over.
Trust me, he could.
I could. I love it. So doing new material, it's nice. It adds a spark. But I'm happy I could do one song over and over and over. I have no problem.
Okay, here we go.
This is where I was born and raised. It's called the Southwest Coast Blues.
My favorite.
With a long harmonica solo at the end.
All right.
Which you probably expected, since that's
all right.
That's what I've been doing.
Get ready for some good laughs today, people. We need it.
Yeah, good laughs. Southwest Coast Blues. I'm gonna lay right here on the southwest coast of Lake Michigan, where the skyscraper's swaying and the pigeons are playing on the roof again. I'm selling ice cream bars and it may take hours to get rich again. On the streets, on the sidewalks of the southwest coast of Lake Michigan. Woo! Stay with you, baby, on the southwest coast of Lake Michigan. And I ain't gonna leave you alone unless I get the itch again. Because I'm so happy just looking out the window with you, my friend. Watching the cops chasing robbers up the southwest coast of Lake Michigan. Splashing and the dead fish are flashing on the lake again. And the wind is shifting and the smog is drifting in on Chicagoland. And I've been sitting here thinking, used to grow on the southwest coast of Lake Michigan.
Woo woo!
Story time.
Story time.
Woo!
Woo!
Hey, I wasn't the only one that ran out of breath.
All right. So this is going to be 4 fairly funny, fabulous fables.
Fables from the land of forever. So, this is about the Recording Academy, the people who give away the Grammys. I love this story. So, a while back, I got a phone call from the director of the Illinois office of the Chicago of NERIS.
National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences.
Exactly. And they wanted me to be what was known as a governor. And you actually run for office. And they said they'd like me to run for office. And I said, no. And they said, why not? And I said, because though I think the Grammy Awards show is really great and it promotes music, it really gives people the wrong impression. Every young artist thinks that the chances of becoming a famous star are pretty good when they're almost ridiculously non-existent. And we need to tell people that, and we need to tell them things that are real, that when you sign a record deal, your career is basically over, statistically. Yeah, they need to know things like that.
This isn't the funny part.
Yeah, this isn't the funny part. So anyway, I said no, and they said, why not? And I explained it to them. And they says, well, that's exactly why we want you. I said, I'm gonna kick up some dust. I'm gonna be nothing but trouble. And I said, well, that's exactly why we want you. I went, okay, I'm up for the job. So I went ahead and ran and got the office of governor for the national, for Chicago. And our mission, this is the mission. The mission is to advance artistic and technical excellence, work to ensure a vital and free creative environment, and act as an advocate on behalf of music and its makers. That's what got me. I said, this is the dust I'm going to turn up.
And Lynn said you were good trouble.
Well, there you go. Thank you, Lynn. So people tend, in organizations, people tend to make decisions to increase power and money, understanding that is necessary to help fulfill a mission. You need some power, you need some money. But then quite often the mission itself is ignored. What I want to say, though, about the Recording Academy, they do have a wing of the Recording Academy, the National Academy.
But not a prayer. They have a wing.
A wing, right. The National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences has a wing called Music Cares that can do no wrong. They are brilliant and beautiful and really an important organization. But as Lynn said, I nevertheless created what I thought was good trouble, which what I was asked to join to do.
Okay.
And what? Okay. So I would, at every single meeting, when we'd be voting on something, I would say, you know, we have a mission. That's sort of like the joke where the old grandmother is with her little grandson, and he's dressed up in this little sailor suit and a little sailor hat, really cute, and she goes to the ocean, and she turns away just for a few minutes when the kid is playing on the shore, and all of a sudden the kid disappears. Can't find him anywhere. Please, dear God, please, my only grandchild, please. He's so innocent, and I took my eyes off him just for a second. Please return him. All of a sudden, this big wave comes. And on the crest of the wave is this little child. The wave shoots him up in the air and lands him right in the lap of the grandmother. And the grandmother turns up to the sky and says, he had a hat, you know. So I would always say, we have a mission, you know.
Okay, so back to the stories.
Back to the story, okay. So,
Come
National
back, Corky.
Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences, NARIS, has offices in about 10 cities. You know, I know they had Chicago, Los Angeles, Nashville, Atlanta, Memphis, New York, San Francisco. Some governors became trustees, and I became a trustee. And part of our job was to decide on the categories at the Grammy Awards. What categories are we going to vote on? So we would come up with the categories. So we're going to our conference in Hawaii, and some of the trustees that were with me were Kurt Elling, Neil Tesser was the chair of MusiCares, Danny and Franny Leak, Hank Neuberger.
Frankie Knuckles was there, who invented house music.
Oh, really?
Yep, Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
A lot of extraordinary artists who have later became extremely famous, like Jay-Z, of course.
Yeah.
So
we were at the airport in Hawaii, and a bunch of us were there, and we're waiting for our bus, and a man says, "NARIS?" And that's us. And there was a woman standing next to me, and she said, "Did he say NARIS?" And I said, "Yes." She says, "That's me." So I helped her with her bags. We all got on the bus. And I turned to her and said, so Holly and I turned to her, and we were having a conversation with her. "So where are you from?" And she says, "Missoula, Montana." I said, "I didn't know they had an office there." And she says, "What office?" I said, "The Recording Academy." She says, "I don't know if they do or not." Thinking, that's strange. "Are you a governor?" And she looked completely bewildered and said, "No." "Are you a guest?" She says, "Yes, I'm a guest of the Hilton Hotel." And I said, "But we're not going to the Hilton." As it turns out, her name was NARIS, and she thought that was her ride. So everyone on the bus just lost it. We were all in hysterics.
You can't make this up.
Can't make this up.
As Charlie Muscle White says, I ain't lying.
So we got to the hotel, and we wanted to get to that swimming pool right away. We go up to our rooms, we get ready, we go down to the pool. And we're at the pool, and there's a guy next to us, and Holly, starts talking and says, "Are you a governor?" And the guy says, "Yeah." And Holly's thinking, well, we got that right this time. "Where are you from?" And he said, "Lincoln, Nebraska." He says, "I didn't know they had an office there." And he says, "Yeah, Lincoln is the capital of Nebraska." "So you're one of the governors from another city?" And the guy looked bewildered. "No, I am the governor. I'm the governor from the state of Nebraska."
So he was the governor of Nebraska. We were getting in a lot of trouble without trying. So I ended up getting roasted, by the way, at their evening gala with Corky. Anyway, I diverse.
Yeah, and there's more roasting to come. So then I was asked to perform. I was going to perform a song, and Kurt Elling was going to perform a song, and who knows who else, Jay-Z or whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
But there was one performer that I was so excited to see. It was Brenda Lee. "I'm sorry." Oh, I love that song. I can't sing it because, again, I'd have to get, syncing rights for
about 10 grand.
Yeah, I can't even sing it. Actually, it was my friend Sugar Blue.
Yes.
He came to the house one day, and they were interviewing him for something.
It was for a film, actually, that's coming out, if I can tell you all. It's called Born in Chicago, and it's now on Shout Factory, and it has everyone in it. We'll tell you about it later.
Yeah,
but
some other.
Yeah. The Rolling Stones. Corky. It's going to be wonderful. Anyway.
So I was really excited about seeing Brenda Lee. Oh, yeah, and I was going to say about Sugar Blue. He was interviewed, and they asked him to play the lick from, I don't know what the song is, because he toured with the Rolling Stones.
Yes.
Da 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 da,
Right.
I can't. So anyway.
Miss You is the name of the song.
He couldn't play the lick, even though he wrote the lick.
Right.
because he gets sued for recording it on a video. So we got to be careful about that stuff.
Correct.
So anyway, so we went to the sound check with Kurt Elling and all these people, and Brenda Lee sang "I'm Sorry," and my heart. And then they said to Brenda Lee after she sang the whole song, "Brenda, could you do that again?" And I was so...
I think you asked them, would you please do that one more time for me?
And she did it again, and I loved it. And then after she was finished, I said, "Please join us for lunch." And so Brenda Lee joined Holly and I for lunch.
Oh, my God.
And we loved her so much, and we had the time of her life. And it was
She
Brenda
is
Lee.
funny. She
And-
is
and
really
she was
funny.
so great.
She is an
Anyway.
absolute delight.
So one of the meetings we were having, and we had 40 trustees from about 10 cities, and we were to decide on, again, what categories of music we were going to vote on. Are we going to add some new categories? Are we take some categories away? And so the chairperson of the trustees was Leslie Ann Jones. I hadn't met her yet, but I was already in love with her because she was the daughter of Spike Jones,
Who
I
is
love.
also a
Yeah.
fan. Corky is a big
Yeah.
fan of Spike Jones.
That's how old I am, guys. So Leslie Ann Jones, she was the director of music recording, and scoring at Skywalker Sound, Skywalker Studios, and also Lucas Films. So, and she was so loved. People loved her so much. And here she was.
Still love her.
Yeah.
She was the vice president also
Yeah.
of
yeah.
NARIS.
She got up there and started talking about a category of music that she really thought should be part of our Grammy Award presentation. She said gay music is very important. She said it's an art form. Gay music is an art form in itself. There's nothing like gay music. And I'm thinking, okay, this makes sense. And I could see that, I knew that she was gay. And now this all made sense. And then she said, some people do nothing but compose and produce gay music. And I'm starting to get this is a little strange. And then she said, and top composers are hired to write gay music. And I'm looking around
And nothing but gay music.
yeah, and I'm looking around, and everyone has a straight face, and I'm thinking, am I the only one that thinks this is curious? She said gay music is quite a phenomenon. Studios are being designed just to produce gay music. And I'm thinking, am I on candid camera or something? What's going on here? It's becoming a major industry, and we should seriously consider gay music as a category.
All of it, all on its own, in its own category.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, and all of a sudden I went, oh my God. She's not saying gay music, she's saying game music.
Game
music.
music.
Game, it comes out gay music. Game music. I'm thinking she's saying gay music. It's game music. So listen to this. So it's an art form. Game music is an art form in itself.
Game
There's nothing like
music.
game music. Some people do nothing but compose and produce game music. Top composers are hired to write game music. It's quite a phenomenon. Studios are being designed just to produce game music.
Famous actors are used to
And
do
I'm just-
voiceovers for gay music.
And I'm just freaking out. And so I go up to Leslie, and I just have to share this with her. I go, Leslie, I'm Corky Siegel. I'm from Chicago. She says, oh, great to meet you. And I said, I just have to tell you this. For the 10 minutes that you were talking, for 9 of those minutes, I thought you were saying gay music. She says, Corky, did you know I was gay? I said, well, I assumed as much. And she says, and we just started laughing and screaming. And we bonded completely right there for life. And
She
hugged
was
each
our
other.
new best friend.
And then she said, I should be more careful about how I pronounce game music. So we were, when we had the evening performance and gala, we were the center of attention.
Absolutely.
Every time.
We had a trifecta of hilarious stories.
Unbelievable. So that's it. Okay. So now I'm going to turn it over to Holly to introduce something special. Now I promised, I'll tell you about this in a minute, but I promised, I promised to have something political from now on, just a little something at each live stream. And this time we have something really special because last night we called Ethel Polk, who's a dear friend, and Holly will introduce her. And I said to Ethel, Ethel, why don't you say something to the fans? We're doing a live stream tomorrow. I'll record it and you could say something. She says, what should I say? I said, Ethel, say anything you want. You're 103 years old. I think you could say anything you want and it will be accepted. So anyway, Holly's going to introduce her. We're going to play this. She gets 2 minutes to say something, and then.
But we will do a feature on her because she's just too fascinating. Yeah. She has nearly 104 years of incredible life history and stories. So we would definitely feature Ethel down the line.
Yeah. And so anyway, Holly will take over, and I'll show you a few photographs, and we'll take it from there. Then I have another song for you.
Okay. Are you going to take? Are you going to be the camera
I guess,
maestro?
Oh yeah, I'll take it. Okay.
So many years ago, the phone rang, and Ethel picked it up and heard a voice say, "Am I speaking to the famous Ethel Polk?" And Ethel said, well, I can't speak to being famous, but I do know that I am Ethel Polk. The caller was Eleanor Roosevelt. So when I say everybody knows Ethel, I mean everybody. As a great supporter of the arts,
well, let's show a couple photographs.
Everyone knows and loves Ethel dearly, and she has never missed a single performance of Corky's. We last saw her at City Winery when Corky was performing and had two very special guests, Toronzo Cannon and our bodacious diva, Lynn Jordan.
This was at Ethel's 102nd anniversary last year. Okay, let's see if there's other.
She's also
there she is with me and Howard.
Howard Levy.
Let me just do the home movies thing. There she is with Bonnie Kolak. There's Howard. She's watching Howard and I. And there we go. Okay, Holly, you could tell the story now.
So she's also a great supporter of WFMT's Folk Stage and countless other events. She's 103.5 and about 4.5 feet tall and looms large in Chicago. As a very young girl, she was pen pals with people like Bertrand Russell, a Nobel Prize laureate and a pacifist. We'll definitely do a story on her, but please enjoy these 2 minutes from last evening's conversation with Ethel Polk.
Okay, let me see how I can do this.
Okay, I'm Ethel Polk, and I happen to be 103. That's my age. Not my height is almost as bad. But I keep remembering LaGuardia, who always says, when I make a mistake, it's a beaut. Well, the whole country made a mistake recently. Not too recently, but enough so. We've got a chance to correct that mistake, and we sure need it. Heaven knows, any idiot that is really sick and walks out of the hospital because to prepare for his last week of campaigning, that is an idiot. He could have campaigned for the hospital, and it would have been just as effective or ineffective, but whatever. but he's a narcissist, and he thinks he can do anything and be anything, and the country has suffered from it now for almost 4 years. It should be finished quickly. It really is a case of, I've had cats that were sick, and everybody wanted to hang on to them, but they didn't want to be hung on to. This cat we ought to get rid of. That's my feeling. It's more my feeling. People are talking more and more about, the man's an idiot. Why is he still there? Yeah. Okay. I don't know how to persuade anybody, but I think it might be worthwhile remembering that we have had some pretty damn good presidents who get into trouble, but they also correct their troubles. This one wouldn't ever admit a trouble. Yeah, everybody else is wrong, of course. But I think we really need to correct this trouble. When we make a mistake, it's a dilly.
So Ethel is, she's going to be 104 shortly, and she's going to walk to the polls. And at 104, if she can walk to the polls to vote,
Everyone.
I think we can.
Oh, is this a song?
We can all walk to the polls and vote. Corky and I have
Our new masks.
have our ballots made out, ready to go. Follow Ethel. Vote, everyone. Please vote.
Well, everyone, our live Facebook stream is voting. We already know that. But get everyone else to vote. But go to protectthevote.net. And then you could do more than just vote. You can actually poll watch from home.
Right.
You could find misinformation about voting and send it to people who will be able to take those sites down that are giving misinformation. So go to protectthevote.net. Okay. And for Zooming today, go to corkymusic.com/stream. And for finding out about my unrecorded love project, which is like unbelievable. You don't have to participate, but at least read about it. It's really exciting.
It is a wonderful,
And we're moving ahead.
wonderful,
So,
wonderful
okay,
piece.
I said everything I need to say.
Okay, let's take it away.
Alkeseltzer Moon, and then Zoom. Let me see what time.
Moon and Zoom.
We're doing good.
It's the moon Zoom.
Yeah.
It's also a full moon.
Yeah. Alkeseltzer moon, melting in the AM sky, soothing the road maps from my tired eyes, dreaming of you. Nothing else is on my mind. As I go swerving down the highway, straddling the center line. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night. Jumping in love so soon. Right there at our rendezvous. It happened at the very moment that I looked at you. And oh, how those sparks flew up to the ionosphere. And I haven't even started floating down from heaven since last night with you, my dear. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a your romantic star. Something special there was glowing. And from midnight to daylight, we felt the creative juices flowing. Oh, what a flight! Nothing less than ecstasy. Well, it was Cupid and Venus and Eros, you and me. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night.
So we'll see you in the Zoom room. Zoom room moon. And where do they go, Quicks?
corkymusic.com/stream.
And thank you for tuning in Argentina, Brazil, Japan. Love to see all of you, and hope we make it back to those places
No, we're here. We're
soon.
there now.
But
we've already
yeah,
made it there.
we'll enjoy
They're
being in
letting
each
us-
other's home and heart. All right, big hug from Corky. Bye-bye. See you on the Zoom. Love you all.